I'm 42 years old. I've been married for 11 years. We have 2 kids, a mortgage, a dog, and what I thought was a solid, boring, stable life. The kind people envy. The kind you stop questioning. Until you don't. I'm posting this from a throwaway because I don't want anyone who knows me to recognize this. I don't want my wife to find it. I don't want my kids to ever stumble across it. I don't even know what I want, honestly. I think I just need to get it out somewhere. Before everything collapsed, life felt fine. Not perfect. Not some Instagram fantasy. But comfortable. Predictable. Safe. My wife, Lena, and I met in our late 20s. She was charismatic, creative, warm. The kind of person who could talk to anyone. I was quieter, more practical. We balanced each other. Or at least I believed we did. We built a life slowly. Wedding. House. Babies. School drop-offs. Weekend soccer games. Family holidays. Fights about money, chores, intimacy. Normal stuff. I trusted her completely. Not in a blind, naive way. But in a, this is my partner, we choose each other every day way. If someone had asked me last year whether my wife would ever cheat on me, I would have laughed. I would have said, no chance. I would have defended her. I would have bet my entire life on it. And that's what makes this hurt in a way I don't have words for. Because the betrayal wasn't just an affair. It wasn't just one mistake. It was a secret life. It was dozens of men. It was years. It was hiding in plain sight. And the detail that keeps replaying in my head, the one that makes my stomach twist every time. She was liking our wedding photos. While she was actively cheating on me. With the man who took them. Looking back, there were signs. Of course there were. There always are. But at the time, they felt small. Harmless. Explainable. Lena was always on her phone. She worked in marketing, so constant messages weren't unusual. Clients, coworkers, social media campaigns. She loved social media. Instagram especially. I didn't. I barely posted. She curated. She followed photographers, artists, fitness guys, travel influencers. Mostly men. But I didn't think much of it. She liked attention. She always had. It was part of her personality. Sometimes she'd angle her phone away when I walked into a room. Sometimes she'd quickly lock her screen. Sometimes she'd smile at something and not tell me why. If I asked, she'd say, "Just a meme." Or, "A client thing." And I believed her. Because why wouldn't I? Our marriage wasn't perfect, but it wasn't dead either. We still had sex. Not as often as when we were younger, but enough. We laughed. We planned vacations. We talked about the kids' futures. There were dry spells. There were moments where she seemed distant. But I blamed stress. Parenting. Work. I never once considered she might be building emotional and sexual connections with strangers. Because the Lena I thought I knew hated cheaters. She'd talk about how disgusting it was when celebrities cheated. She'd tell me stories about friends who got cheated on and how awful it was. She once said, "If I ever stopped loving you, I'd leave. I'd never cheat." I stored that sentence in my brain like a promise. God, I was stupid. Sometimes I wonder if part of me subconsciously saw the cracks but chose not to look too closely. Because stability is comforting. Because ignorance is easier than upheaval. Because I loved her. Our wedding was one of the happiest days of my life. I still remember standing at the altar, watching her walk toward me. She looked unreal. I cried. Hard. She squeezed my hands and whispered, "It's always you." We hired a photographer named Mark. He came recommended by a coworker. Charismatic guy. Late 30s. Talented. Easy to talk to. During the planning process, Lena handled most of the communication with him. She liked photography. She had opinions. I didn't care much as long as we had pictures. On the wedding day, Mark blended in like a friend. Joked with the bridal party. Complimented Lena constantly. "You're seriously one of the most photogenic brides I've ever worked with." I remember feeling a flicker of irritation. Not jealousy exactly. More like, "Yeah, okay, dude, relax." But I brushed it off. After the wedding, the photos were incredible. Lena posted dozens of them. Profile picture. Cover photo. Anniversary posts every year. She tagged Mark's business account. She'd comment heart emojis on his posts sometimes. I noticed, but again, it felt harmless. He took beautiful pictures. She was proud of our wedding. I was proud too. What kind of idiot would think their wife was sleeping with the wedding photographer? It sounds ridiculous even typing it. But now every time I see those photos, I feel sick. Because I know something I didn't know then. That behind those smiles, behind those carefully edited images, there was already something rotten growing. The first rail crack happened on a random Tuesday night. Nothing dramatic. No big fight. We were sitting on the couch watching some stupid Netflix show. Lena was on her phone, thumb moving fast. She laughed softly. I asked, "What's funny?" She jumped. Actually jumped. "Nothing," she said too quickly. I teased, "Must be good nothing." She smiled, but it looked forced. "Just a dumb reel." I shrugged. A few minutes later, I went to the kitchen to get a drink. When I came back, she had switched apps. Again I noticed. Again I ignored the little alarm bell in my head. Over the next few weeks, it kept happening. Phone face down. Bathroom trips with her phone. Staying up late scrolling while I slept. Lock screen notifications turned off. I told myself I was being paranoid. I told myself I was projecting insecurities. I told myself marriages go through phases. One night I casually said, "You've been glued to your phone lately." She stiffened. "I'm allowed to have a phone." "I didn't say you weren't." "Well, it feels like you're accusing me of something." I immediately backtracked. "I'm not. Sorry. Just making conversation." She relaxed. Gave me a quick kiss. Conversation over. That was the pattern. Tiny moments. Tiny discomforts. Each one too small to confront seriously. But together, they were slowly building something heavy in my chest. A weight I couldn't name. The actual discovery was stupidly mundane. Not some dramatic catching her in bed scenario. Not a confession. Not even snooping, at least not intentionally. My phone was dead. We were getting ready to leave for my son's soccer game. I asked, "Can I use your phone to check the weather?" She hesitated. Just a second. But I saw it. "Sure," she said. She handed it to me unlocked. That should have reassured me. Instead, my gut tightened. I opened Safari. Weather.com. While it loaded, a notification banner slid down from the top. Instagram, new message from Jay's speech balloon. I don't know why I didn't hand the phone back immediately. I don't know why I clicked it. Maybe curiosity. Maybe instinct. Maybe some part of me already knew. The app opened to a DM thread. Not locked. Not hidden. Just there. The most recent message from him. "I can't stop thinking about the way you tasted last night." My entire body went cold. I scrolled. I shouldn't have. But I did. Explicit messages. Photos. Videos. Her face. Her body. Words she had never said to me. "I miss you. I wish I was in your bed again." Plans? Inside jokes. He lived 2 states away. They had met through Instagram. My hands started shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I heard Lena in the bedroom calling. "You ready yet?" I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. The world felt like it tilted sideways. And that was only the beginning. I don't remember walking into the bedroom. I don't remember what my face looked like. I remember holding the phone out like it was radioactive. "What is this?" I asked. She looked. Actually looked. Her face strained of color. "That's not—" I cut her off. "Don't." She started crying instantly. Big, gasping sobs. "I'm so sorry." That sentence alone shattered something inside me. Because you don't apologize for things that aren't real. "How long?" I asked. She wouldn't look at me. "How long?" "A few months." Lie. I didn't know it yet. "Is this the only one?" Silence. I laughed. It came out ugly. "Holy shit. You're cheating on me." "I didn't mean for it to happen." Classic. "Have you slept with him?" She nodded. My legs buckled. I sat on the bed. We were late to the soccer game. I texted my sister to take my son. I didn't tell her why. I couldn't form words. Lena kept saying, "It didn't mean anything." I said, "You fucked him." She said, "It was a mistake." I said, "You had months of mistakes?" She kept crying. I felt hollow. Like someone scooped my insides out with a spoon. But some sick, hopeful part of me still believed this was the full truth. One man. One affair. Something we could maybe survive. I had no idea how wrong I was. After about an hour of circular talking, something felt off. Her story had holes. Timelines didn't add up. She said they only met once. But the messages talked about multiple nights. Hotels. Road trips. I asked, "Is there anyone else?" "No." I stared at her. She couldn't hold eye contact. "Give me your phone." She hesitated. "I already showed you." "Give me your phone." Her hands were shaking when she passed it to me. This time, I didn't stop at one thread. I opened her Instagram message requests. Dozens. Literally dozens. Men. Different ages. Different cities. Flirty messages. Sexual messages. Photos. She responded to most of them. Some conversations were short. Some stretched back years. I felt like I was scrolling through a catalog of betrayal. Then I saw a familiar name. Mark. Our photographer. I clicked. The first message was from 3 years ago. 3 years. It started innocent. "Loved working with you. Still one of my favorite brides." She responded with a heart emoji. Then compliments. Then flirting. Then sexual. Then plans to catch up when he was in town for another wedding. They met at a hotel. Multiple times. He sent her edited sneak peeks of our wedding photos. She replied with hard eyes. Then sent him nudes. While married. To me. I felt like I was going to vomit. "Are you fucking kidding me?" I whispered. She collapsed onto the floor. "I'm broken." "No. You're cruel. You're a liar. You're a stranger." I lost control. I screamed. I threw her phone across the room. I punched the wall. My knuckles split open. I didn't feel it. I kept seeing our wedding day. Her smiling at him. Him adjusting her dress. Me standing there like an idiot. "Did you sleep with him before we were married?" I asked. She hesitated. That hesitation answered everything. "Yes," she whispered. I made a sound I didn't recognize. It came from somewhere deep and animal. "So our entire marriage is built on a lie." She tried to crawl toward me. "Please. I love you." I backed away. "Don't touch me." She said she didn't know why she did it. She said she has low self-esteem. She said attention makes her feel alive. She said it wasn't about me. None of that helped. What I heard was, "You weren't enough. You never were." While I was building a family, she was building a collection. I asked if any of the men were local. She nodded. "How many have you slept with?" She couldn't give a number. "More than 5? "Yes." "More than 10? She didn't answer. That silence might be the loudest thing I've ever experienced. That night, I slept on the couch. I didn't really sleep. I stared at the ceiling. Every memory felt contaminated. Our wedding. Our honeymoon. The births of our children. Anniversaries. Vacations. I kept wondering. Was she messaging someone while I held her hand? Was she thinking about someone else while she lay next to me? Did she ever choose me? Or was I just the safe option? The provider. The stability. The cover story. In the morning, she made coffee like nothing had changed. I lost my mind. What the fuck are you doing? I thought maybe we could talk. Talk? You've been fucking strangers for years. The kids were in the other room. We had to whisper scream. She begged me not to tell anyone. It would destroy me. I laughed bitterly. You destroyed me. She said she'd delete Instagram. She said she'd go to therapy. She said she'd do anything. I asked for full access to her phone, email, social media. She agreed. I spent the next week doing digital archaeology. Finding new men. Old men. Archive threads. Snapchat logs. She had been maintaining this secret identity for at least 5 years. A separate Gmail account. A private Instagram. Different username. Different bio. No family photos. No mention of me. She presented herself as single. Sometimes as divorced. Sometimes as complicated. I realized I didn't know who my wife was. Not really. I started questioning my own sanity. How did I miss this? Am I that stupid? That unobservant? Friends would say I'm a good husband. Involved dad. Responsible. Was I boring? Was I emotionally unavailable? Did I drive her to this? Logically, I know cheating is a choice. But emotionally? I feel defective. Like something in me wasn't enough to keep her faithful. I started having panic attacks. At work. In the shower. Driving. Random moments where my heart would race and my vision would tunnel. I lost 20 pounds in 2 months. I couldn't eat. I couldn't focus. Sex became impossible. The idea of touching her made me nauseous. But the idea of losing my family terrified me. We tried couples counseling. She cried. She took responsibility. She said all the right words. But every session felt like she was performing remorse. I didn't feel safer. I didn't feel chosen. I felt trapped between two horrible options. Stay and live with the knowledge. Leave and blow up my kids' lives. Neither felt survivable. People say trust can be rebuilt. Maybe. But how do you rebuild trust when the foundation was fake? How do you trust someone who lied effortlessly for years? I started sleeping with one eye open. Not literally. But mentally. Always scanning. Always suspicious. That's not a marriage. That's a hostage situation. The worst part isn't even the sex. It's the emotional intimacy she gave away. She told these men about her childhood. Her insecurities. Her dreams. Things she rarely shared with me. I read messages where she said, "You just get me. You make me feel seen. I wish I met you first." I was right there. Every day. Trying. Loving her in quiet, boring ways. Fixing things around the house. Taking the kids so she could rest. Planning date nights. Apparently none of that competed with dopamine and strangers. I started pulling away. Emotionally. Physically. I stopped asking how her day was. Stopped initiating hugs. She noticed. She cried. "I feel like you hate me." I didn't know how to answer. Because hate would have been easier. Hate has energy. What I felt was numb. Heavy. Empty. Sometimes I'd look at her and feel nothing. Sometimes I'd look at her and feel pure rage. Sometimes I'd remember the woman I thought she was and start sobbing. Grief is weird. You're mourning someone who's still alive. Someone who never actually existed. Our kids started noticing tension, asking why Daddy sleeps on the couch. We lied. Back pain. Bad sleep habits. I hated lying to them. But I hated the truth more. Eventually, something in me broke. Not dramatically. Not with a big fight. Just quietly. I realized I would never feel safe with her again. Not truly. Even if she never cheated again. Even if she became the perfect wife. The knowledge exists now. It can't be unlearned. I told her I wanted to separate. She collapsed. Screaming. Begging. Threatening to hurt herself. I called her sister. I wasn't equipped to handle that. We told the kids we needed some time apart. I moved into a small apartment. The first night alone was unbearable. The silence. The emptiness. But also, relief. I didn't have to look at her. I didn't have to wonder who she was texting. I didn't have to pretend. We're currently in the messy middle. Lawyers. Custody schedules. Mediation. She still says she loves me. She still wants to reconcile. Sometimes she sends long apology emails. I don't reply. I don't hate her. I don't love her. I don't really feel anything most days. Just tired. So tired. Some days I wonder if I should have tried harder to forgive. If walking away makes me weak. If I gave up too easily. Then I remember. She didn't just make one mistake. She built a lifestyle. She curated a double existence. She made thousands of small choices that required lying to my face. Forgiveness doesn't magically create trust. Love doesn't override reality. I'm in therapy now. Trying to unpack why I tied my self-worth so tightly to being chosen. Trying to accept that her cheating says more about her than me. Some days I believe that. Some days I don't. Dating feels impossible. The idea of trusting someone again feels absurd. I flinch when I see people on their phones. I analyze tone, behavior, patterns. I hate what this has turned me into. But I also know I didn't choose this. She did. I miss my kids every day I don't have them. That's the price I pay. Not for my actions, but for hers. And that part still feels deeply unfair. The wedding photos are still online. I can't bring myself to ask her to take them down. Maybe I should. But it feels pointless. Those photos don't represent reality. They're a lie frozen in time. Sometimes I scroll through my own social media and see comments. Beautiful couple. Goals. True love. I want to scream. You have no idea. I think about Mark sometimes. About Jay. About the dozens of faceless men. I don't want revenge. I don't want to confront them. They didn't vow anything to me. She did. I've stopped trying to understand. Why? There is no satisfying answer. People cheat because they can. Because they want to. Because they choose themselves over others. That's it. Simple. Ugly. True. I'm rebuilding my life slowly. Gym. Therapy. Cooking. Being present with my kids. Some days feel almost okay. Some days feel unbearable. Healing isn't linear. It's messy. It loops. It surprises you. If you're reading this and you suspect something is off in your relationship, don't ignore your gut. I wish I hadn't. I don't know if my life would have turned out differently. But I would have known sooner. And maybe that would have saved me years of living in a lie. I still love the woman I thought my wife was. I don't love the woman she actually is. That distinction matters. I don't know what my future looks like. I don't know if I'll ever fully trust again. I don't know if I'll ever stop replaying certain images in my head. But I do know this. I didn't deserve this. No one does. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. I don't need advice. I don't need judgment. I just needed somewhere to tell the truth. Because carrying it alone was slowly killing me.